Hi there and welcome to another 5k every day, where I row 5,000 meters on my rowing machine in round about 21-ish minutes, and I ask you to row along with me. Now you might hit 5,000 meters or more in those 21 minutes. You might not quite hit that 5,000 meters. I do tend to rant a little bit at the end of the workout, so you've got a little bit more time to get there if you want to do the full 5,000. But really, it's about that 21 minutes worth of exercise. If you can do that every day, it's amazing for you, all right? So don't stress about the 5k, just stress about the 21 minutes worth of rowing. So I want to get into this quick because, as you can see, I'm in my hoodie because it's so cold today. So let's get our machines set up. And I want you to go to resistance or drag factor, whatever you've got on your machine, and set that where you want it to be, where you get a nice feel from the stroke. You don't have to tug and heave against it, but it doesn't feel like you're flapping around in the air. Don't listen to someone saying, Aaron, you must row at 6. Set it where it's best for you, okay? Next up, go to your foot plates and set them at a height where you can get into the front of the machine with your shins pointing vertically comfortably, okay? The ballpark here is that the strap should cover the balls of your feet, which is the widest part of your feet, but you might want to adjust. What I'd say is that lower is often better than higher, okay? That helps with your compression into the front. So we're going to get going. I'm going to take this hoodie off and we'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oh, that was a bit of a worry then. It was like a escapology moment. Is he going to get out of his hoodie before the start of the row? Whew. Right. So, a little bit of housekeeping first. Yesterday, if you were watching the 5k every day yesterday, I finished by saying that I was going to repaint the green screen. And the paint that I bought that was really expensive and was called CSO green, color separation order green, it ain't the right color. It's a kind of limey yellow green. So I'm a little bit worried that when I take this into the edit suite, the software is going to be like, that ain't green, mate. And so what you might see is quite a dirty key in the background, or maybe I'm a little bit crushed or something, who knows. But apologies if that's the case. I might just, I don't know, might just go to B&Q and get the right color, even if it's not quite the right viscosity. Anyway, so that's housekeeping number 1. Housekeeping number 2, well actually, is, I'll say this first, is remember these 5k rows are meant to be a low intensity, or let's not say that, because it might be that you want to smash out a 5k time trial listening to my rant. I am rowing these as a low intensity, kind of round about 20 strokes a minute. This is my buy-in for the day. A nice gentle row. And if you have more activity planned for the day, then I do recommend keeping this one nice and simple so that you can spread your wings for the workouts and the rest of the day. Housekeeping 3, don't worry about my pace. I had a bit of a rant on Monday, was that the 5th, January 5th, about pace and how, although I don't put my paces up for you to try and reach, I do think that some people could push harder with their legs and things in order to go faster. I think it was kind of a misguided rant. I didn't quite get it out properly. I don't think I quite hit the point I was trying to make. But what you have to remember, and I mean, there's people that row a low intensity 20 strokes a minute piece at like 150 pace. So I'm not saying that I am anywhere near a fast rower, but I've spent most of my life, after the awkward smoking, drinking and rock music phase anyway, doing intense sport, from squash to cycling with a little period of overeating in between, to rowing, and then I'm now doing that kind of dozy-do dance between rowing and high rocks. And I've always been kind of at a intense performance level. So I'm not saying I'm anywhere near the top anymore, but I am fit. I do have power. I do have like an 80% okay technique when I'm rowing. So that's why I can be rowing 20 strokes a minute, 205 pace. But maybe you're new to rowing. Maybe you're 20 years older than me. Maybe you don't have the fitness background, so it's not fair to compare paces. What is fair is that you compare today to yesterday. Do you feel as fit as you were yesterday? Do you feel fitter, stronger, faster? That's what really matters here. I'm just the eye candy baby. I'm just here to keep you company. It's about what you do. And this is one of the reasons why I say about taking these easy, is because if you can just dial in to these rows, work on your technique a little bit, keep it down at that zone 2 intensity, then you'll find that your fitness will improve, because it's a mitochondria building workout. And then you'll become a better rower because you're spending time thinking about your technique. And that's what matters. Anyway, so, and then final housekeeping, which will bring me on to technique slightly, is as long as the background key allows it, you should be seeing the ErgZone app in the background. And I've got it set to the grid view so that you can see my force curve as we go through today's row. Now, if you don't know, the force curve is a graphic representation of the power going into the machine. So really, the Y-axis is the amount of power that you're putting in. So the higher, the better. In fact, if I just take one stroke, limping into it, you should see, there you go. The line dropped right down. So, more power, higher curve. And then the x-axis is time. So if I just take a short stabby, you can see that tiny little curve to the left. So, if I take you back to high school maths, say maths with an S here. It's that interchangeable S. We say maths and sport, whereas my friends on the other side of the pond say math and sports. Go figure. Anyway, if you, basically the largest area under that curve that you can create, the faster or the more power you're getting into the machine. So a big high curve for as much of the X, oh, it's 2,500 meters gone, X-axis as possible, then you know you're putting the power in, well, as efficiently as you can. So I don't have the perfect curve, especially at these low rates, but I can at least talk about it. That what you want is a nice rise to the left. So that initial power should be smooth and high. As you push the feet into the machine. And then, provided that you do that with straight arms and a forwards tilt, then as your legs hit peak power and start to fade, your back takes over. And that's what continues that curve, kind of holds it relatively high. And then to the right hand side of the curve, as legs fade and your back swing fades, that's where your arm pull comes in to try to continue that power. So in the case of my curve, you can see that it comes up okay, nice and smooth, holds okay, but then to the right, it goes a bit shallow. And that's because I'm not really pulling powerfully to a finish here, because I'm rowing at a low intensity. But if I pull, well, actually, is that changing anything? Not really. Well, it's going faster, similar curve. But then your arms aren't as strong as your legs and back. That was a failed experiment, wasn't it? So, I don't know what there's a yellow curve there. I don't know whether that's meant to be an average of my curve or possibly the ideal curve. I'm not sure. I should read up on ErgZone more. But if I miss the connection between legs and back. Oh, by the way, if you're on a Concept 2, press the second button down on the right hand side of your monitor and you'll see your force curve. So I should have said that at the beginning. But if I miss that connection, you can see there's now a big lump to the left and a much shorter curve. And it's all over the place as I get all janky into it, and I'm rolling a lot slower. So it's not going as high. There you go, so you can see the change there as I got back into my proper stroke. Weirdly, because I think ErgZone, the graph resizes depending on the power you're putting in, which I think actually the PM5 does too. But if you can get this sharp rise, that powerful push into the stroke, and then a smooth sequence from legs to back. Because even if I go legs, back, lump, see what's happening here? This is like the gym stroke that you see so often. Look, that's like a mountain range. Okay? So if you see all of those hills and lumps, apologies if you are actually trying to just follow my stroke, by the way. That must have been really off-putting. So maybe the yellow one is the average, because it was changing with my lumpy stroke just then. Maybe I should have properly read up on the ErgZone force curve before talking about it. But Peter, one of my more consistent viewers on here, he asked if I could talk about force curve. So really, what it comes down to is you want it to go, it's basically a bell curve you're looking for. A nice high initial rise, hold a smooth curve, which means that you are transferring legs to back, and then try to have still a high curve as possible as you pull into a finish. But the key really comes down to high and smooth. If you can keep the curve high and smooth, you're putting the technique in and the power in an okay fashion. But that's really all I'm aiming for, is okay. And one thing that will help is really thinking about not trying to squeeze distance out the front of the stroke. Get arms away, tilt forwards, and then roll until shins vertical. Because if you come into the front, nice, then dump, dump, you can see that I'm now missing that initial powerful connection, which if I return to between my feet, through my back and into my arms. So you think that you're going to be going faster because you're reaching right in to the front of the machine, but actually you're not. And even if you do temporarily see a pace improvement for a couple of strokes, you're actually going to tire yourself out really quick rowing that way. It's the same as, am I right? Yeah, finishing like that. I'm seeing a pace increase here, but it's really, really hard work. There's no way I could keep that up. Maybe that should be my thumbnail for this. See who gets in touch. I just saw Cameron Buchan posting a video with him rowing like that, basically saying the same thing, that on a short row you can get away with that, but it's totally inefficient. All right, I'm coming into a close here. Crikey, that was possibly the quickest feeling 5K of the series so far. I think it's also the quickest 5K of the series so far. That was 20:48. And I wasn't really, apart from those strokes there, I wasn't thinking about pace. That's interesting. I wonder whether it's talking about the force curve maybe helped. And look at that finish curve, that's awful. I should take one more, hang on. Okay. You keep on rowing, by the way, if you start to hit your 5K. So if I can try and, let's try and finish on a good force curve. Oh no, it's finished. No, I can't. Because ErgZone's caps me off. Boom, it's cut me off at 5K. There's extra meters I could have put to the Concept 2 holiday challenge, which, by the way, if you're rowing on a Concept 2 and you don't do anything with a, I'm just going to talk for a while so you can carry on rowing or cooling down. If you don't do anything with the Concept 2 logbook, I really recommend it. It's really cool. So even if you've got like a PM3 or PM4, you can still kind of, if you've got like a memory card or whatever, or even you can connect a USB to your computer, or you can type in manually your results into the Concept 2 logbook. Someone's alarm's going off outside. Ah, there we go. Sorry, alarm just went off, so that's why there's a bad cut there. Yeah, so and just by putting everything into your logbook, you can see your meters add up. And actually, over time, that all mounts up and you can kind of go, wow, I mean, I'm about to hit 19 million, I think. And actually, I've missed a whole bunch because there's all the high rocks trading stuff I do where I don't even do it through an app or enter into logbook, but hey, that's my fault. But you can put it in through there. And actually, when I hit 1 million, I got a t-shirt. And it's funny I'm talking about this today, because this long-sleeved top, this is what I got. I don't know if you can see it, but I got that, this top, for hitting 5 million meters on my logbook. Totally for free. They just sent it to me. Actually, I do wonder whether, because I think I moved house since, and I wonder whether they're still sending stuff to my old house. Anyway, and then I got like a big, like proper sweater when I hit 10 million. And I don't think they do this everywhere, just in case you're somewhere that they don't do it. But isn't that amazing? Could we just send you something for this? Anyway, and so in January, they're doing a virtual team challenge, which is basically where you row meters and all the teams can compete to see who can row the most meters. I've got a team for RowAlong. You're please join if you want. If you don't have a team, I'd love to have part of you, but I'm not here to sell you on joining RowAlong. But it would be great. But if you don't, all I'm saying is that if you don't use the Concept 2 logbook, and especially if you've got PM5, you can just use an app like ErgZone or ErgData or whatever, and that will then upload stuff automatically for you. Ta-da! Sometimes you have to click a button to join the challenge, which you do this month. But if you just go to logbook.com/teams, it'll take you there. Anyway, right, so there's something else I was going to talk about. I can't remember what it was. I'll wait until tomorrow. There's a couple of things that came out of yesterday that I was like, oh yeah, I know, yeah, I've got one big rant, but I might actually just make it as a little video short. So check that out to see if I upload it. I tend to upload a short around about 4 or 5 o'clock UK time, GMT, every day. So keep an eye out for that, see if I manage to make that short. Apologies again for the green screen. I will touch it up, see if it's any better. Obviously, it might be amazing by the time I get into the edit suite. You never know. Who knows? But yeah, and that's me. I think I'm done. Am I? Yes, I think I am. Oh, I've got the boiler repair people. Why does your boiler always break in winter? It never breaks in summer. But my boiler, the heating boiler, has got a leak. So I've got boiler people coming around. That's why I'm like, why am I speaking so fast and hyper? It's because these guys are coming around in about 20 minutes. So I've got to get in, have a cold shower because the boiler's broken, and then get on with my day. So how about you get on with your day as well? Shall we just stop here? Because these rants are getting longer and longer at the end, and I don't want people to look at the duration of the video and go, what? It's a 5K row, why is it 42 minutes long? So, bye-bye everybody. Make sure, have a shower, have something to eat, have something to drink, in whatever order you want. And maybe while you've got a piece of toast in your mouth and peanut butter, you can turn to your wife or husband or dog or cat and go, by the way, I love you. I'm sure they'll appreciate it with like crumbs coming down your face. Or you could do a big romantic gesture and get some roses or whatever and go, I love you. Or like some dreamies for your cat. I mean, my cats love little treats, so get a little kind of, there's a stick thing that one of them she inhales the thing, she eats it so fast. And so that's how we show our love to our pets, by giving them food. That's maybe not healthy, is it? Anyway, right, I'm gonna go. Have an amazing day. I will see you in the next row, whether it's one of my other ones, whether it's tomorrow's row, whether it's yesterday's row, whether it's the short that hopefully I will upload later today. Who knows? I just hope you're enjoying what I'm doing, because I'm really trying to focus on this right now, and it'd be quite sad if you weren't enjoying what I was doing. I'd have to kind of rethink. I'd have a bit of a kind of existential crisis if that happened. But anyway, until the next time, take care, row well, be well, bye-bye.